Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alec Reed and this is my channel Alec Reads, and today we're reading chapter 15, Draco, of I Still Think You're Beautiful on Wattpad. I do want to mention, my chair is broken, so it's squeaky, as you can hear, so it's probably going to do that throughout this entire video, which is going to piss me off to no end, but I'm trying to get a new one, I promise. The only issue is that I sit at a really tall desk and I'm trying to find like a stool that's comfortable and also doesn't squeak like nobody's business, so please forgive me for that. But anyway, like, subscribe, comment, whether it's recommendations or whether it's just saying hello. I love both, and also make sure to check your comments because I do reply to them, and sometimes I will ask questions or ask for your opinions on things, so just make sure that you're checking back in on your comments. But anyway, I will jump right in. Hope you enjoy. Chapter 15, Draco. I looked up as I heard the door slam, thinking that I would hear Madam Prince's screech any second. I saw Weasley, his face furious. His eyes found me and Harry. Shit. Did he know? Is that why he's here? I know that Harry wanted to tell him himself. Fuck, he was coming over to us. I stood up. Weasel, what do you want? He just pushed past me. Stay out of this, Malfoy. This has nothing to do with you, he sneered, and walked over to Harry, who was completely pale. Well, me and Potter are studying, and I think you should leave. Why are you here anyway, and since when do you study with Harry? Harry's face began to go back to its normal color. What's wrong, Ron? He asked. We need to talk. Alone. Harry began to pack up his books. Weasel gave me a glare. About what? Harry looked at him innocently. About you, so hurry up. I don't want to be near him any longer than I have to. I just sneered at him and began to clear up my own books. You okay? I whispered, giving Harry a sympathetic look. Yeah, I don't think he knows about us, which is good. See you in our room later, okay? Okay. I smiled at him as he walked out of the library behind Weasel. I couldn't wait until later, so naturally I followed them. They walked down a few corridors until Weasley led them into an empty classroom. I pressed my ear against the door. Ron, what do you want? Is it true? I heard him shout. Is what true? Harry stammered. What Ginny said. Are you a fag? I heard something be slammed. Hopefully nothing connected to Harry. I guess? What do you mean, you guess? Are you a faggot or not? I'm guessing. Harry nodded, because there was no reply. You disgust me. I flinched at that. I couldn't imagine what Harry must be feeling. Both his friends had accepted me, just as I had accepted Pansy. Ron, please. I heard him sobbing as my heart broke. Get away from me. We are no longer friends. Don't talk to me again. I heard him snarl. I stepped backwards as the door opened. Oh, what a surprise. Malfoy always spying on everyone's private business. I guess that's why you became a Death Eat. In a matter of seconds, he was on the floor, with a bloody nose. He touched his face with his hand, and his eyes widened as he saw the blood on his hand. I'll get you for this, Malfoy. I'd like to see you try, Weasel. Like I told your whore sister, I'm not a Death Eater. I spat. He stumbled as he stood up and ran down the corridor. I quickly slipped into the classroom. At first glance, it looked empty, but as I neared the back of the classroom, I saw Harry's small figure crouched on the ground. He wasn't doing anything, just sitting there staring at the floor. Harry, are you okay? I waved my hand in front of his face, and he blinked, looking up at me. It's all my fault. I crouched down next to him. How is it? He is the one being a dickhead. I put my arm around him. No, Draco, stop. I can't do this, whatever this is anymore. He pushed away from me, and I tried to mask the hurt in my eyes. What are you saying? I'm ending something that never even started in the first place. I'm sorry, okay, but why can't we just go back to the way things are supposed to be? Harry, please. Look, we were never going to work. All we did was kiss, so I'm saving you from more pain. He walked out. I heard him choke back a sob as he slammed the door for effect. What just happened? This can't happen. I need him. I can't survive without him. My chest began to hurt as tears fell from my eyes. Curse him. Curse him for making me feel this way. Stupid Scarface. I hate him. I wiped my tears from my eyes as I ran after him. No, I wasn't going to let him go this easy. Harry, wait. I grabbed his arm and turned him around. His eyes were red and watery. Please don't do this. Please. My voice was breaking. I don't know what else to do. No one is going to accept us, so what's the point in even trying? Draco, I don't want to get hurt, so just don't make this any harder than it has to be. He went to turn around again, but I grabbed him by the shoulders and shoved my lips onto his. Fortunately, he returned my kiss. I heard whistles and squealing behind us. Thankfully, no booing. We retreated, and I got lost in his wonderful green eyes, blocking out everyone else. I brought my thumb to his face, wiping away tears. Come with me, Harry said. He pulled me along to the corridors, also ignoring everyone else. We made it outside, but he still continued to drag me all the way up to the owlery. Draco, I want to do something with you. I do. But I feel like we rushed into this. Please, can we just start again? And when we are dating, I guess then we tell everyone together. Then let's start again. It's not that simple, Draco. Yes, it is. So, Harry, would you like to go on a date with me? He didn't answer, so I grabbed his face and made him look at me. Fine, if I must, he said with a sigh, his eyes laced with tears. When? Tomorrow. Meet me by the lake at lunchtime. I gave him a quick peck on his wet cheek. Don't listen to Ron. He's just jealous. Why would he be jealous of me? Hello, have you seen me? He wishes he could get someone as good-looking as me. I chuckled, and Harry showed me a weak smile. Come on, let's go to bed. I bet everyone is freaking out. The chosen one gave for the Death Eater. I joked. Don't. I hate that. You're not a Death Eater, and I'm not the chosen one. I nodded and grabbed his hand, pulling him out of the owlery. I miss her. Who? Hedwig, my owl. His eyes glazed over again. I know. I pulled him into a hug, and we returned to our room, both passing out on my bed. Before I start this episode, I do want to warn you, saying that there is homophobia and some sensitive subjects in this chapter, so if you do not like those things, please click off this part of the video. Chapter 16. Harry. Just because I felt safe with Draco, it didn't mean the nightmares went away. I also made sure I had my photo album by the bed. I didn't want a repeat of last night. I was in private drive, standing outside. I went to walk to the door. What else would I do? I walked inside. The house was empty. There was no furniture yet. I could still hear my aunt and uncle in the kitchen. I opened the door, and there they were. My uncle, with a sneer on his face. My aunt's lips thinned together. Oi, freak, what are you doing here? We don't want you, we never did. You became a burden as soon as we found you on our doorstep. It was your fault your parents died, Vernon shouted at me. My sister is dead because of you. Yet you're just like her, a freak. You and your disgusting kind, freaks. Even your friends can't accept you, my aunt screeched. Dudley walked up from behind me. He was a lot bigger than me. He grabbed my collar and shouted in my face. Why would you have any friends? You're a freak and a faggot. Everyone is dead because of you. Why aren't you dead, selfish queer? He pushed me to the door, then the floor, and started to kick me. As I blacked out, I started to wake up. I managed not to wake up Draco as I pattered over to my album. I picked it up and went to the bathroom, locking the door. I leant against the wall, considering many things and concentrating on my breathing, flipping through the book. But tonight it didn't do any good. It just made me feel worse. I can't stand it anymore. I felt like I was drowning. I just needed an escape, a break from everything and everyone. I want to be in control for once in my life. This is one thing I can control. I stood up to the sink and fumbled through my bag, finding a small tin case. I clicked it open, staring at the small yet dangerous blades inside. Shaking, I picked one of them up, pulled them out, rolling up my sleeve. My arm was laced with old scars as I created new ones on top of them. I sat in the shower, my head foggy, my eyes stinging. I cleaned my arm and put a bandage over it. I ignored the pain as I struggled with the dressing. I returned the tin and cleared up the bathroom, walking back into the room. I went to my school bag and got my wand and my cigarettes. I slowly slipped out of our room, Draco still sleeping peacefully in his bed. I envied him for that as my restless mind pulled my face into a scowl. I made my way to the astronomy tower, climbing over the spiral stairs and sighing as I reached the top. I lit my cigarette and sat in my usual place, my legs hanging over the edge, my back against the railings. I wasn't insistently calmed, and there was still the carving pain in my stomach that made me feel like a complete and utter shit. But it made me forget about my life for a bit. It stopped my anxiety taking over my body and me becoming a shaking mess on the floor. I finished my cigarette and mentally cursed myself for not bringing more. I let the cool breeze kiss my face and ruffle my untamed hair. I relaxed a bit, casting a tempest. It was 3:07. I'd better get back soon. So I stood and climbed over the railings, nearly slipping. I sighed as I closed the door to the tower, remembering the end of the 6th year. When I'd made it to my room, Draco was still asleep. Thank Merlin. I eased into bed as he snuggled into my arms. I stroked his hair. It looked nice when it didn't have any gel in it. How could I have gotten so lucky? I didn't deserve him. He was too beautiful for me. How much can a person sigh before they combust? I slunk down into the bed, still admiring Draco, kissing his forehead and falling asleep. My eyelids fluttered open the next morning. They met the perfect silver of Draco's. Morning, he said, a smile creeping up on him. Morning, I groaned, remembering the shit I would have to face today. It'll be okay, alright? I'll be with you, okay? He wrapped his arms around me, pulling me into a hug. My head rested on his chin. Thanks. I unattached myself from him and went to have a shower, removing the dressing from my arm and letting the warm water soothe it. I dried quickly and got a clean bandage, putting on a hoodie to cover it up. You take so long in the shower, Draco joked, storming past me. I hadn't even got my books together when he surfaced from the bathroom wearing nothing apart from tight and extremely flattering jeans. He had a very nicely defined six-pack, which I couldn't help but stare at. My eyes moved up, and I mirrored his smirk, and he pulled on a green jumper, much to my annoyance. We have potions first with Flughorn, then Transfiguration with a new teacher, Zelani, I think. Draco informed me whilst getting his own books ready. What's he like? I asked, seeing as I'd been off and hadn't seen him. By been off, I meant a mixture of time in the infirmary and skipping classes. He's alright. There's something about him, though. It's probably nothing. I nodded. We held hands as I walked down to the common room. I was about to let go, but Draco squeezed my hand. I remembered that everyone had already seen our show the day before. I swallowed, pushing down the fear that had crept into my throat. Would everyone react like Ron did? To my surprise, no one even batted an eyelid. Draco glared at Ron as I stared at the floor. We made our way to the great hall. As he said goodbye and I sat down for breakfast, I walked over to a confused Hermione. She was wondering why Ron wasn't with me. Alright everyone, that is the end of today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed. We will be starting on chapter 17 in the next episode. I'm very excited for that. Hopefully by then I will not have this squeaky chair anymore. It's killing me. But anyway, like, subscribe, or comment, or do all three. But anyway, comment whether it's recommendations or whether it's just to say hello. I will respond to both. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Goodbye, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, friends.